Sports listeners. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This is a whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes and all those people and businesses that support those teen athletes. Oh boy, look at the excitement. Oh boy. Yeehaw. You like my hair? Oh yes.
Folks out there in Radio Land, you cannot believe how hot the Queen of Teen is looking.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Wow.
She is looking like Gina Lola, Queen of Teen.
Yeah, well, no, the best one was I can't, kill it like future. That's cursing. I will. Okay. Yeah. Krista. Okay. Krista. Okay. She's interning now for Leanne Anderson. PR International. So she walks in and she looks at me and she gives it that consummate, she's 23, 24?
Yes.
Well, she just looks at me, she stops, halts, right? Just positions herself, turns her head, tilts. Whoa! I mean, when somebody like that young just stops and gives it the whoa. And I'm like, hey, and I react, in accordance and I whoa her back. And I go, BOX. And she goes, BOX? And she doesn't even know what that is, right? I'm like, box. You know what I mean? And she goes, box. And she still doesn't get it. And I'm like, yeah. It's like was in the cupboard. Yeah. It's just to save $70.
Can we explain? Okay, there are henna products if you want to dye your hair. And henna, if you read the label, make sure it doesn't have heavy metals in it. Henna is healthy for your hair. So that's, you did a henna.
Well, let me beg to differ with you. My
Doctor, wait.
Oh, dear God. Okay.
Dr. Energy.
Yes, darling.
Dr. Energy. What do we got to do here? Whoa. Stop, Terri Cooper. All right. Sorry.
So my friend had a girlfriend, and she was my best friend. And he used to be a hairdresser 127 years ago. And so he decided that before he messed with her hair, he'd put henna on my hair. I did not look good in green. And it stayed green.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky. You didn't lose your hair.
No, I didn't.
That's what happened to my golden locks.
You're serious? They did henna on your head? No. You'd look very good with henna on your head.
Well, it's kind of like Michael Baker, where he's met his wife at a hair salon, met her down when he was working in the sewer department, and
he
worked
was
with
stalking her, wasn't he?
He was.
Right from the sewer, he made his way right up to the top.
Oh, funny stuff. Yes.
But anyway, there's just fun things that you can do that just kind of brighten up your day. But I suspect if your hair turned green, there was a heavy metal mix, either in the henna that they used or what was used on you previously.
We were listening to heavy metal.
Yes, exactly.
That'll do it.
Anyway, I asked Dominique, I said, do you have anything in the house that, somebody made reference. I have a friend, very close, Efren Reynosa. Yeah. Woo! Always helping out kids. I love this guy. And he made reference to my hair because he was growing this, I call it a possum on his goatee. Anyway, it was getting larger and larger and larger. So I said, do you got to trim that beast? And he goes, you need to color your hair. And I'm like, oh, touche. So I did, and then I did a selfie. I never selfie myself, so I said, "Oh, okay, bang," and it was since my hair's a jet black now, so I said, "Okay, now bye possum," and so I'm waiting to see if that is going to take care of itself today. So yeah, the henna thing works. I think if you want to stay away from the chemicals, and I'm not saying I wanted to do that. I just said I was the closest thing because I had to touche my friend. So what else is going on, Terri Cooper?
Yes.
What else is going on? Dr. Energy, are we doing any classes? What else? Talk to me.
Well, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the new work I'm doing. Dominique came in for a session, and you did talk about it a little. I'm still waiting for you, my queen, to come in.
Well, I have hair now, so yes.
Well, I can read right through your hair. It's true. Your hair is no obstacle, nor your beauty a distraction.
Okay, I'll make an appointment today. I'm going to get everything on. I'm going to put this on my list of things to do today. Make an appointment with Terri Cooper because it's important.
Well, I'm excited about the work because it's finally combining.
I saw your brochure. I love it. The brochure is hot. I like it. I'm going to do that. Terri Cooper, look. appointment. Look, it's on my list.
This is called conversation interruptus.
Sorry, I apologize.
Premature interruptus of my conversationist.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
I'm going to do that.
So,
What do you do?
what I like about the work I'm doing now, what I'm excited about, is that it combines all the things that I've done before in using my intuition, using my psychotherapeutic skills, and now being a Reiki master. And so what I do is have somebody come in for an hour and a half, and I combine everything I'm good at together. And when people walk out, the things that they're saying are very exciting. So that's my newest work, and I just really, really am excited. And I invite anybody who wants to come in and tell me that they heard us here on the radio on our show, and I'll be happy to give you a nice discount.
Woo, that's awesome. I just want to say, any chance that we get to work with healers, it's so wonderful because the way you work, Terri, you help reinforce a person's innate sense of what's wise for them, and you help reinforce a person's intuition about what they should be doing for their health, and that's really beautiful.
And the whip in the chair doesn't hurt either.
That cost extra, Dr. D.
Erica, hit yourself harder. Come on, you got it in you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm teasing.
Mea culpa. We do the mea culpa.
I got you.
So thank you for letting me share that. And in the fall, I have some good fun classes coming up. I'll talk more
Terri
about them
Cooper.
when we get closer to it. So thank you.
Yeah. To your right, always fun. Love it when she joins us. How are you?
I'm doing great. I've got
Heather Bond.
I've got a couple exciting things right now. Besides this chair, not wanting to scoot up. Actually, like Terri, I've got I met up with a wonderful woman. She's a depth psychologist. She's one of my clients, and she asked me to do. To come into one of her retreats to do a little body work on some of her, some of the retreat people. and she and I ended up actually co-facilitating it. I cooked all the meals for them, and we just flowed. And it was absolutely amazing. And now we've created our own retreat. So I've got that coming up in November. So between her, she does a lot of dream tending. She also does Reiki. She's a Reiki master. But between the two of us, working the body, mind, and spirit has been awesome. Nice. Really, really great.
I think you posted that on Facebook. So you've got that. It's a little place in the woods.
It's an 18-acre private estate.
And it's right by you where you live.
It is right. I've been looking for over 8 years for a place to hold a very special retreat. And there was a lot of different requirements that I really wanted. And all of a sudden, when the timing was absolutely right, here this woman landed in my lap as a client.
Right around the block.
Right. 5 minutes. I live up on West Camino Cielo, and she's right there. And it's just, and it is the type of relationship that when you just look at the person, you know what to do next. It just flows. So super excited, and I got my membership site launched on heatherbondnow.com. Nice. And working with the kids and the children and the parents together. Got a lot of fun videos with my daughter. So that's what's got. I've got a lot of stuff rolling.
That is so exciting. Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that you're working with other people, and so that we really have a holistic approach, because we're in an era of specialization. You know, there's a doctor for each finger and each toe, and you've got to go see all these people and the different people when something's going on, and it's so compartmentalized. And I love that more and more people are wanting a holistic experience. Mm-hmm. They're wanting the energy, they're wanting the psychological understanding, they're wanting the emotional freedom. They're wanting that kind of in-depth work, right. And they want it all together. So yay for you and yay for me.
Yeah.
And yay for our people.
Absolutely. And again, it was one of those things that really, with what I do, on a nutritional, fitness and a health level, you've got to have the psychological part in with there. That's a whole component. So the two of us together are just an awesome match. and a force to be reckoned with.
You know, I'd like to speak with our program director at the Center for Lifelong Learning and perhaps have a whole day of integrated psychotherapy and intuition and Reiki work, and just do a day for all the students that are there. And maybe you and I can talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's interesting because Pacifica put Ginger, her name's Ginger, Dr. Ginger Swanson, and Pacifica just did a big article on us and our retreats coming
That's
up.
wonderful.
So that was really nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
And the CLL, you know, we have 30 to 60,000 people who attend classes. So I'd like our community to be exposed to all of this good work.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm talking about networking.
Yes.
It's called networking. That's right. Woo. I love it. Boy, it's good. We have such a hot show, but we're not done yet with the whole introduction portion. You know who else we have here?
Tell me.
We have Mona, my friend, my dear friend.
I like
from
Mona.
Westmont. Put your hands together. She's a co-host pro tem.
Thank you, Erica.
Yay, Mona's here. Woo! More claps. I love Mona.
So great to be here. Bring a little Westmont news.
Oh, I love Westmont news.
Kind of transitioning from conferences to new students arrive in a few days.
Nice.
And I have with me today a special guest who's going to give us a little preview of the athletic season.
Nice.
And a little description of what distinguishes Westmont athletics.
We'll do that at the after the break, but that's exciting and so welcoming. It's so funny because when I was talking to Ron on the phone, I don't know, it's that commanding voice. I don't know. I'm like, well, Ron, you've been on the show. No, I haven't. You haven't? Well, how exciting. I'm so excited you're going to be on the show. I meant to say you're going to be on the show is what I meant to say. And I'm like flubbling, through.
Ron is our sports information director, so he's got all the...
And a key to the lifeline of athletics and bringing them on the show. So basically, again, you're growing the show.
Absolutely.
As a good co-host does. Pro tem.
It's good.
It's fantastic.
Westmont celebrates its 80th anniversary this year.
Fantastic.
So,
woo! Yes.
So 80 years of guiding young people.
I love the modern art exhibition that you made me go to. It was wonderful. The last day, it was so cute. I love it. She just gently nudges me, Erica, Saturday is the last day. I'm like, this is the last day. And we went to...
How modern art came to Santa Barbara.
It was fantastic. It was so good. And of course, since I started just, segueing into this, my new little hobby, now I think I'm a curator, for everything. I'm just saying, I did. I go in there and I'm like putting my hand, closely to the piece, and I'm feeling everything he felt. I'm just in another planet, another universe. And then I'm like saying, well, I put this piece here, now put this piece over there. I think I'm, you know how I am, Mona. I'm an expert now on everything. But it was awesome. And it was great because they had these cards at the end, well, pieces of paper actually, and it's like, if you know any of these artists, tell us about the person. So I'm thinking and imagining 30 years from now, I'm not here. And I'm thinking people are writing about me. You
never know.
You never, I'm saying. And I'm walking out with Kristen and say, when I did this piece, because I think this piece should be in there, what would you say about this piece, when we were having our paint fight, when we were making it. And that's when we had this one splatter. And that's how this splatter got there because, you threw the paint at me. So you could tell the whole story. It would be cute, huh? She goes, yeah, it would be. Okay, don't forget the story. So it's funny things of how this little, how'd that piece get there, right? So it's actually kind of cute. That's why it's called abstract, right? No, you don't think so? No,
I agree.
They did have that
Beauty is in the eye of the
beautiful
beholder.
piece. Actually,
Do you actually think, and this is a straight question, do you actually think that any kind of painting, an abstract painting particularly, is just arbitrary? I think everything flows through us. And I think what comes out, if we allow that process to just be there, use that word again, flow, we're going to be creating pieces that are not haphazard or look like they just, we didn't know how they came to be. But if we get out of the way and simply let our creativity and our intuition combine and flow, we literally can bring through some wonderful art. The word for inspiration comes from the French word inspiration, which means spirit flowing in. So it's about allowing that spirit to flow through you.
And the word enthused, doesn't that also mean to be filled with God, to be filled with the divine?
Absolutely.
So I think definitely art is definitely an expression of that.
Well, I was kind of teasing there before, but for me, spiritually, I will tell you that
You're letting God come through.
Yeah, I will definitely tell you that hours would go by, and I wake up, and I will be in a sweat, and I will tell you that everything pours out of me, and I will look at it, and I will honestly think it's, what did I do? And I am a kind of person where I will think it's so bad, and then something will tell me, like, flip it, because I do everything upside down. So, and I'm lefty, and I'm not left-handed.
Is that why you're wearing your pants where your blouse should be?
Exactly. Just so weird. Okay, we're going to take a break now. Yeah! We always find a way to, close it. Guess what? We got some awesome commercials, more commercials, new commercials. Stay tuned for more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. Tom Reed.
Woo! Good to be with you. Good to be with you. We're talking about 9,000 kids over at the Unity Shop to come through in a year's time. So, and we're celebrating our 100th year of our calendar year, and you only turn 100 once. I've been there the whole time, so I know a lot about Unity. But this is kind of the last 5 months here for our calendar 100th year, so we're really, really excited. Last September we were in our fiscal 100 year, so we had a big event at the Granada. We celebrated with Kenny Loggins and Messina. We had all kinds of great time there. Videoed the whole
beautiful
thing. Yeah, it was great fun. Used it on our telethon, the video, all of that in December. So this year we're going to do an event at the Libero. You can't see this on radio, but Peter Noon is going to do a little concert for us with friends. And he's still traveling like 200,000 miles a year doing the music from Herman's Hermits. Peter is an unbelievable guy. He's been on Broadway. He's worked with the Beatles. He's worked with everybody. And he's probably one of the best entertainers out there. He is so personable, and he's going to just have he doesn't do that much here locally, and bring in his band and the whole thing. So Libero, kind of a very intimate setting, October the 10th. We need some sponsors for that to make it fun, but that's going to be terrific. Then we've got our 30th anniversary motorcycle toy run. 30 years we've been doing it. It's the largest motorcycle toy run on the Central Coast, and we'll have about 500 motorcycles. And we start on Santa Claus Lane. This is in December, of course. So price of admission is $30 and a new unwrapped toy. So these guys will buy the biggest stuffed animal known to man, strap it to the handlebars, get lights and garland, all kinds of stuff on these motorcycles, and race through town. And it's slow going, but it's through Montecito, Upper Village, Lower Village, down by the beach, up State Street. And we don't have to stop at any stop signs or any red lights because the police escort us, and it's great fun. Everybody comes out and waves and smiles, and it's just a great time.
Can I make a plug? If you have a motorcycle and you've never done a motorcycle ride with a whole group of people, it's a very different experience. It's really fun. The camaraderie is wonderful. You're safe because you're in a group of motorcyclers, and it's really a blast.
Yeah, well, thanks for that unsolicited testimonial. That's just great. So we end up at the Santa Claus Lane, then all the way through town, and then up to Las Positas, down to the Cliff Drive and Shoreline, end up at the Carriage Museum for a big barbecue and a band, and we just have a great time. That's in early December. And then our telethon coming up will be kind of the grand finale of our 100 year, and that'll be the second Saturday, probably the December the 12th or 13th, whatever that is. But very exciting what's going on at Unity Shop. And so we're thrilled to be a part of the community. And Erica, you've been a huge supporter, and we just love having you involved and getting the word out.
Well, now that all the kids are headed back to a particular high school and they have all those community service hours to gain, how do the kids contact you if they want to render their service at Unity?
Yeah, those community service hours can be fulfilled at Unity, and it's just a great spot to do it. The location is 1401 Chapala. It's the corner of Chapala and Sola. They can just come down and check us out from 10 until about 5 or 6 every weekday. At Christmas time, we're open 6 days a week until 8 or 9 at night. But during the week, we can't afford overtime for everybody, and so but we do shift it till about 5 or 6 at night and at 10 o'clock. Right now, we have volunteers from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and Florida for a couple of months, and also 3 volunteers from France. There's a business school that sends some of their students over from France every summer, because it turns out Unity Shop is really a unique thing. 100 years in town, we take it for granted, but it's unique in all of America. There's a couple other cities that are thinking about having us help them put something like Unity Shop in their place, but there's nothing like it anyplace else in America.
What makes it unique?
Well, we do food, but often what's done with groceries is you put a mix of what you have on hand in a box, and you hand it to somebody who needs food. And you would say, that's matching resources with needs. That works. Doesn't work. 70% thrown away.
Wow.
And that's a huge loss. And the reason is, if you give them a shopping cart and let them choose, they will only take what they're going to use. But if I decide what a Hispanic person is going to use, or an Asian person, or a black person, culturally, it just isn't the same. And preference, just white people, like if I'm going to say, I'll go shopping for you, and you'll love it.
Okay, I'm fairly white.
Fairly white. But can I tell you, you wouldn't like what I picked out for you.
How do you know?
Personal
I
preference.
like food.
Well,
I can testify. It's an annual tradition for our family to go down and work at the Unity Shop.
Oh, great.
And it's wonderful seeing the families come through and pick out the food that they want from the shelves. And then at Christmas, of course, they also get to pick out toy and clothes and for all their children. And I'll never forget the time that my 8-year-old daughter helped some homeless men choose age-appropriate toys for their kids.
Oh, that's
It brought tears to my eyes.
That's terrific.
And actually, Mona, I'm glad you said that, because I have an 8-year-old daughter, and I was just thinking, is there an age limit for anybody to come in and give a hand?
When they're young, if you come with, that's fine. The youngest we've ever had was 3 years old.
Oh,
but 5, 6, 7. If the parents come with, it's a good experience, because in my opinion, it's never too early to get kids thinking about somebody besides themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we're just this entitlement, kind of self-centeredness when we're young, and to see other kids that don't have what they might have, and to be able to help them, that's a spirit. You're talking about spiritual transactions here today already in the show. That's a learning, teachable moment, and that borders on the spiritual.
Have you ever been?
No, I haven't. And I was
incredible.
just going to say, is there any other opportunities for young children with a parent to help?
Well, absolutely. All day, every day. Because that's how we have a very minimal staff, about 16. But we give away $2 million worth of stuff. We take care of almost 20,000 people. And so it's a full-on job all the time. And the volunteers, 1,800 volunteers
on
an annual basis.
And so if my daughter, by chance, was given a box of Barbies, which I told her we were looking for a special place to deliver it to.
Bingo.
Okay, there we
go. Bring them down to us. If they're in good shape, I'll tell you where the Barbies go.
Yes.
The Barbies end up going to the seniors, because when the kids come through, they get to choose a stuffed animal along with a game, a backpack, toys, whatever they want. But if they only get one stuffed animal, they're not going to take a Beanie Baby, right? They're going to take a $40 tiger or whatever it is. And that's been the tradition. So what happens is all the Beanie Babies go to the 3,300 seniors that we take care of every year with gift boxes that are specifically put together for them, size, color, style, the exact items that they need for
Heather,
birthdays
you're
and
such
Christmas.
an advocate. Organize it with your school.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, we did a teen sports radio thing, because we did the the tour,
Yeah.
and we did it as a group, and whoever wanted
Came
to go.
on the telethon.
Yeah, and then we came on the telethon. I've never been, and we did the tour, and I was so impressed because of the matchup and the zero waste. And the dignity. Explain when you check out. I mean, you would never know.
It's like
if you
going
were
to a grocery store.
It's going to a grocery store, and if you're a little kid, you would never know. Mommy and Daddy aren't actually paying for anything because you're getting a receipt.
Right.
So there's no. Stigma. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's not different than a
I love
normal.
when you come because you got the words. You just pull them right out.
It's a normal shopping experience is what these, and we're running the barcodes to keep track of inventory for our own purposes and record keeping, so we know how many times each client comes, what they receive each time they come. But the kids just feel like this is actually a more fun store than Ralph's or Ross's or Toys R Us even.
Of course, and the pirate decorations.
Well, it's fun. Yeah, it's just fun. And the part of the dignity, of course, is offering them choice. And the kids recognize, they see it. If somebody hands you a box of food and you get home and the parents look in there and they're pulling stuff out and the kids say, "You've never done this before, quite like this." So the dignity part comes from offering them choice, letting them be like a normal shopper. And then when they check out, there's no indication that the parents aren't paying.
It's actually like concierge. It's very Ritz-Carlton. Okay, because, you don't get somebody like helping you decide, right? Can I help you? Now you go to Vons or whatever like that and you're alone. Do you know what I mean?
It's sort of like a Nordstrom.
You're going to grow up and think, where's my helper? Do you know what I mean?
It's a Nordstrom's shopping consultant.
Right? Yeah.
So just really quick, so I sit on the board at Waldorf, and we have a meeting coming up. So with this would, I think, would be a great thing for our kids to be able to.
I'd be happy to show up or provide you with whatever information you
absolutely.
might.
He's right there. He's going to give you his card. That's what I'm talking about. Waldorf. Look, brochures, cards.
That's all the programs right there.
All right, let's take a break. This is Erica Salda. The Queen of Tea. We'll be back with more after this minute.
Go, Erica.
We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. Don't you love it?
Absolutely.
Can you feel it?
Always.
Goosebumps. Right? I love it. That's right. When you come, things happen. That's it, because you're like in the woods. You're in the woods, and we got Dr. Energy. She puts it all together. Of course, Mona's here, bringing it all together. I love the show.
It's yours.
I love this show, too. And the reason I love it is that the quality people who are dedicated to making such a positive, wonderful change in our psychology, in our health, in our nutrition, in all ways. And we get to experience them here on your show. Our show.
Thank you.
And discover them. And it just feels, the energy feels wonderful to be around the quality of these people's hearts. So thank you for providing a forum.
Yeah, thank you.
Amen to that.
So well said.
Oh, it's fun. I love Thursday. Oh, Tuesday and Thursday and Friday for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I love every day of the week, actually. Don't you love it?
I do.
I love every day. Every day is a grand day, is it, Dr. D?
Every day is a great day.
Every day is a great day. Mona?
Every day is a great day. Can I introduce my guest?
Yeah, I love Ron, and Ron is here.
This was right after him.
Westmont is a very special place, as many of you know, helping students 18 to 22 find out what God's call is for their life. And one of the unique programs at the college are our athletic programs. And today with us we have Ron Smith, who is our sports information director, to give us a little preview of what's ahead.
Welcome.
Yeah, so Westmont Athletics is really getting fired up right now because it's the beginning of the school year. Our fall athletes in men's and women's soccer and volleyball and cross country are on campus and have already started competing. And so it's really an exciting time to be there. But Westmont Athletics is more than just a bunch of games. It's more than just getting an opportunity to play on a basketball court or a volleyball court or out on a soccer field. It's really about helping young people ages 18 to 22, grow in every aspect of life. So we want them to grow athletically and physically, certainly, but we also want them to grow academically. We want them to grow socially. We want them to grow as leaders, and we want them to grow spiritually as well. And one of the things I love about Westmont is that our coaches are very devoted to that. You'll not find a coach at Westmont that doesn't have the whole person in mind. And when I see that carried out in a variety of ways in our students, it's a real blessing.
What's the student body is now? Is it under 1,000 or over 1,000? Where are we at?
1,200.
1,200?
1,200 is our limit.
Nice.
And what percentage of those kids are in athletics?
Yeah, somewhere around 225, so a little bit under 0.25% are involved in the athletic programs.
Are there scholarships available for
absolutely.
going to Westmont?
Absolutely. There's all sorts of scholarships for many different students throughout the school, but there are also athletic scholarships which give our students the opportunity to attend a school like Westmont.
I want to make a plug for your Westmont students to definitely go out for a sport, because incorporating sports in your life, you learn things you're not going to learn in the classroom.
That's certainly true, and that's one of the things that we view our sports as really a classroom in and of itself. It helps them put practically into experience some of the things they're learning in the classrooms as well, and it just builds a environment in which the whole person can grow.
I was just curious, what sports does Westmont? They have cross country, track, basketball. Is there a whole? What is the?
Yeah. So in addition to those, there's volleyball, there's men's and women's soccer, there's baseball, and I'm going to leave somebody tennis.
Basketball.
Tennis. We mentioned basketball.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. And not only is it then an opportunity to for these student athletes, but it's also an opportunity for the student body, because it becomes a central point on campus where students gather and they have an opportunity to kind of get away from studies and socialize with one another and to really enjoy kind of the camaraderie of being together and rooting for their team. So it's a real social aspect of the campus as well.
Yeah, and I think the first time I was on your program, I talked about how athletics builds leadership skills, and the number of particularly women in leadership. 80%, 90% have had served on athletic teams in their careers.
Yeah, it's hugely important for women, for young women to take a team sport. Real quick, Westmont is the Warriors, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So for all you Westmonters,
yes.
How did it become the Warriors?
Oh, that's a good question.
Good
Do you know
question,
the answer to that,
Dominique?
Erica? We'll quiz you here.
I remember. I'm going to let you take.
Oh, yes.
I wouldn't want to take the stage.
Erica was a walk-on star soccer player in the day.
MVP, walk on. Yeah.
There we go.
Let's not talk about me.
So it actually goes back to the 40s, just after World War II, and it was put to a vote of the student body as to what the name would be. And if you can imagine, just after World War II, and one of the choices was Warriors. Well, that's where it came from. And the Warriors that were kind of adopted were kind of the Roman warriors of old, right? So it's not a reference to Native Americans as much as it's a reference to really the Roman Empire and that kind of warrior, and that's been the tradition all the way through. And there's a lot of pride about kind of the warrior way and what it means to be a warrior on campus.
Isn't there a book called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior? Isn't that the name of it?
Yes.
Yes. Because I think that has to be integrated too, and it probably is with the spiritual aspect of what you do. So there's a certain amount of competitiveness and fierceness, but there's also that spiritual aspect that you integrate into it, and I love the balance of that.
And the
in
whole
your school.
Yeah, the whole thing about the warrior, I think, has to do with an emphasis on developing character.
Absolutely, and that's really what we're about in our athletic programs. last night we had our women soccer team play out at Harder Stadium against UCSB, and afterwards I was interviewing Jackie Lopez, who's actually from Santa Barbara and is a senior on our women's team and scored our goal for us. And I asked her what it meant to be a senior on this team, and she just talked about how much being on this team has changed her and helped her to grow and how appreciative she is. And I think that's really illustrative of the effect that it has in the life of student athletes.
The other thing I wanted to add, too, is while there's a lot of emphasis on the whole person, by no means are Westmont teams lacking in achievement. Several years ago, our women's basketball team were national champions. Last year, they were second in NAIA.
Fourth.
Oh, fourth. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Still great.
The men were second 2 years ago. And most of our teams come out to be conference champions. So there's a lot to root for.
Yes, the program from an athletic point of view is doing very, very well. It's extremely competitive within the NAIA.
What is your population composed of? Is it mostly Santa Barbarans and the Central Coast, or is it having to do with all over the country? And could we talk about that after the break?
Sure.
Would that be okay? Thank you.
Oh, that means we have to take a break because Terri Cooper she saw the smushy sign. It's time to take a break. We're going to do that. Stay tuned for a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
Terri Cooper had a question.
I did. What happened to 3 a.m. with a piece of pie?
Where else can you find us?
You can find us everywhere. We are literally everywhere. We're on Instagram. I've never done Instagram. I don't know what that is. And you can find us tweeting, which is a very presidential thing to do. So, and you can find us on the radio, of course, and you can find us on Facebook, and you can find us. Well, you know where you can find us, everywhere, and we hope you will look for us because we will be looking for you.
Awesome. Very well put. Terri Cooper! Every single Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Oh, yeah, and then other times, too.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the question?
So to get back to your question
Thank
about
you.
demographics of our student athletes and how we get them, first of all, our coaches go about recruiting, and so they're all over California and go to other states as well. Probably 80 to 85% of our students are from throughout California, but we also have students that come to us from throughout the United States and even internationally. And so the international part is important to us because that brings other cultures onto our campus and gives an opportunity for our students to interact with folks from other places.
Wonderful, because, it's deliciously insulated here in Santa Barbara.
Yes.
And so we're spoiled because the world comes to us because it's such a wonderful place.
Right.
So
that it is.
The whole world.
And to answer your question before about scholarships, one of the college's priorities is making it more affordable and accessible to students. So we do offer a lot of financial aid. One of the new programs 2 years ago was the Augustinian Scholars Program, which offers upwards of 85% of your tuition covered. Wow. And that's separate from any athletic or music scholarships or other scholarships that can be achieved. But it's really remarkable. We now have 90 Augustinian scholars at the school. And as our goal is to have 120 to 150, so over 10% of our student body will have close to all of their tuition covered.
When you're going out and When you're going out recruiting, are you recruiting for athletic programs or for the school in general?
So our coaches are definitely recruiting for the athletic programs, but when they do that, they're looking for those high school students who fit Westmont. There is no break in terms of minimum GPA or enrollment. You have to go through the same procedures everyone else does because you're coming there to be a student. We want you to succeed academically. And so they're definitely going out to recruit for their particular teams, but obviously they're bringing students to Westmont as well. One of the other things I wanted to mention real quickly that we've been involved with for several years now is that we broadcast all of our games, and we do that through student broadcasters. And this is a video broadcast, so we have on-air talent, and then we also have people who are involved in production as well. And that's a really great experience for them. They're gaining valuable skills, and it's been a real joy to be a part of that program and to let them have a voice and be the voice for Westmont.
And I was just going to say, isn't it amazing what technology has provided us in instances like this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're always looking for sponsors on our broadcast, so if anybody wants to come out and help us put those on the air, that'd be great.
Super. Well, Ron Smith, thank you so much. We are going to really look forward to your return visits. Let's take another little break, and then we've got Terri Cooper right when we get back. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
Yeah, finally. I'm so excited to hear your little piece you're going to do right now.
Yeah. This is from a gentleman named Dennis Merritt. And he, I didn't do much of a bio on him. I just brought in this piece that he wrote. But he does some really good stuff, and it's spirituality and heart connected. And given we've been talking about unity and diversity and unity in diversity, both at Westmont and through Unity, I thought this would be really appropriate to share. And it goes like this. When we look beyond age, gender, nationality, color, culture, religion, or any of the other many labels we tend to place upon others and ourselves, we realize we are all very much the same. All it takes is a simple gaze into another's eyes while remembering that who we are looking at is actually a reflection of some aspect of ourselves, followed, of course, by the universal language of a smile to bridge any perceived communication gap. What we each have in common by far outweighs what we don't. May we all focus on that golden thread in the tapestry of life to which we each add our unique essence called human being, and celebrate the beauty and diversity found in our oneness. Now more than ever, this seems to be the call of the soul to which we must respond as a species. Peace, Dennis.
Beautiful. Woo!
Very sweet. Nice.
That was absolutely beautiful. I got the chills.
Mona, this is where you add something.
So you
got to
put on a sweater.
That was very powerful.
Very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And I would just add that not only do we see ourselves, but we see our God.
I want a story. I want a story.
How many minutes do we have?
We have enough. We have 4 minutes.
All right.
Sit down, Bubby.
No, I'm good. Okay, this is Dominique. I'm going to tell you a very quick story, and let's see if this will pull all the themes of today's show in the story. So there is a gentleman. He was, say, in his 30s, and he reached a point in his life where he realized he just hadn't accomplished anything. He wasn't able to stick to it at all. He really had a pretty easy life. He was born into a wealthy family, and he decided, if I can't do anything else, I'm going to go to a monastery, and I'm going to see if this abbot at the monastery can teach me how to meditate so I can reach enlightenment. So he goes and speaks to the abbot, and he's very frank, saying that hasn't accomplished anything. My life just doesn't have any meaning, but if there is a road to enlightenment, I'd like you to teach it to me. And the monk says, well, what's your favorite thing to do? And for this man, he kind of sort of liked to play chess. This is the one thing he was good at. So the abbot called in another monk, and he said to the monk, all right, you owe me your allegiance. I'm going to ask you to do something. It may sound a little strange, but I need you to do exactly what I tell you to do. He had the monk bring a chessboard and the men, and he had the man and the monk sit to play a game. But the trick was, the abbot said to both of them, whoever loses, I'm going to cut off your head. Bam! The clock starts ticking and the men start playing. The gentleman who came in order to earn enlightenment, he's playing the game of chess, he's doing the best he can, but he realizes after a little while that he's so good, the monk might lose. And at that point, as they're moving all the pieces on the board, the man's thinking to himself, but this monk, he's been serving other people. He deserves more to live than I do. So he starts making moves where he's going to lose the game instead of win the game. And at a certain point, it was very obvious that the man was not going to win. The monk takes a sword and slashes the board in half, and it shocks both men. And what the abbot says to the man is, what you need in life is concentration and compassion. When you're focused on what it is that you're trying to learn to do, and you have compassion in your heart, you're going to reach enlightenment and you're going to render service to the world.
Beautiful.
There's my quick story.
And then they went to the Unity shop to get a new chessboard.
Oh my God. That was so funny.
That was good.
And so that being said, when you do your work, you are doing service to the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And it's a wonderful feeling. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm a person you'd identify with much humility, but when I'm serving, it's just an amazing shift psychologically and emotionally. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This has just been an amazing show again today, and I'm so happy, and I think it's all because of my hair. The box. Oh my God.
Alrighty.
Okay. Santa Barbara, it's a beautiful, wonderful day. Hey, be kind today, all right? Be kind. God bless you. See you next week.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you